right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of And Becoming. And I am so excited about today's topic of being disciplined and becoming. And if there's nothing else I've observed about today's guest is following her journey. One, she had to remind me how we met, y'all, because I don't know how I forgot when I was working for the brand when I met her, but I forgot. I will say what has been so powerful is following her journey socially, seeing her get married, seeing her navigate the corporate world, seeing her build her family. And all of those things take discipline. She drops all these gems and nuggets about shopping and what have you, when she's scaling back, when she's, splurging. And I was like, this is such a rich conversation that we need to have. And I don't know what I said about her, but she's a wife, she's a mom, she's a believer, she's all the things. She's dope. She's a coffee fanatic. So we're going to talk about that hopefully. So I want y'all to welcome Jasmine Clarke. How do you feel?
Hey y'all, I feel amazing. I feel good. I'm excited. I'm happy about what God is doing in this season. I feel good.
Yes. And speaking of feeling good, recently you got baptized.
Yes, got dipped in
Yes.
that good old water.
Yes. Virtual confetti.
Yeah.
And I think that is so dope. And I think I shared with you at the time I reached out to you about this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so aligned because I've been thinking about you for this series. And it was like this series, the topic was discipline. I was like, well, I don't know how this applied me. I know she got this, she got this, she got this. And I'm like, I've seen her have these conversations. And then when I logged on to social media and saw your baptism announcement with you and your husband. And I said, oh my God, because baptism is like that outward declaration of you choosing to be discipled and disciplined by the Lord and in your walks. That is beautiful. So we can
Thank
start
you.
there. Is there anything you want to share about your baptism, how it felt, what led you to make the decision?
Yes, thank you. So what led me to the decision was it's been such a long time since I got baptized. I was a little girl, probably like 9 or 10. And my husband and I, we were sitting in church and they talked about baptism. It was coming up in a few weeks. So every Sunday they kept talking about it. And I just felt that tug, like, it's time. It's been a long time. It's time to rededicate your life to Christ as I grow deeper into my relationship with God. And I was like, I'm going all in. And my pastor been talking about going all in. So I was like, babe, it's time. Let's do it. I was gonna do it without him if he didn't do it, but thank God he did it with me. Did it, and I feel amazing. I feel amazing.
Yes. And I like from what you shared on social media, I loved it because sometimes you see people's baptisms and it can be very just, but there was so much love, support, cheering that your church family and church community had that like it just made you want to celebrate, even
Yeah.
just looking from the side. I'm like, do I need to go get baptized again? Let me go there.
Yes, it was a celebration. Like honestly, at first I was nervous, but then when I got up there, because my pastor, he's amazing. Shout out to Pastor Camille at Elevate Life. But yeah, y'all, it was such a good feeling. It was an amazing night, amazing time.
I love that. So, on the topic of celebrating the good things, celebrating discipline in this way, you share a lot about shopping and things people should buy. And so the thing I love about being in a relationship with Christ is that we can make things practical, right? So there is the spiritual discipline of getting baptized and making
Hmm.
that commitment that God, I'm going to walk with you. I'm going to walk in this new life according to your word. And not saying that you weren't doing that already, right? It's just that outward public commitment of doing that and people now see it. But then there are other areas where we can be disciplined. So I've seen you share times on your social media when, you know what, y'all, I'm slowing back my spending on coffee. I'm not shopping like this month, but here's the sales for y'all if you're open to it, right? Like you still keep us abreast of, what's out there. How did you grow to that place? Or have you always been that person that has been disciplined to say, you know what, this month, based on whatever goals, based on, what our household has decided, I'm going to do X or I'm not going to do this.
Absolutely not. I have not always been that way. I had to grow because I truly believe that, listen, I can blow a bag. Listen, I can shop. I can shop. I get that from my mom and my auntie, but becoming a mom has really taught me like, hey, it's not about you anymore. So, you got to pull back. And also too, we live in a world of overconsumption. You don't need all of that stuff. So I always ask myself, is this a need or is it a want? And if it's a need, of course, I'll buy it. If it's a want, I'll take some time to think about it and not make impulsive decisions and save up or do whatever I have to do. And then, make that purchase if I sit on it for a little bit before just going out and splurging. So,
And that's
yeah,
so good. I pray y'all picked up what she said about we live in a world of overconsumption. So we can overconsume on so many things. And I asked you that question because I'm like you, I can't spend the money. If bills weren't real, I'd spend every check. like
every check.
ev- down to the penny, okay? Nothing left. But I realized that there was a season where I had to unsubscribe from all the emails because just because I thought it was a
Exactly.
sale meant I could go, I'm like, oh, this is on sale. This is a good deal. But you didn't need that. And so as I've grown spiritually, I've learned the same is true on the other side. Like for me, that I've encountered is that you can overconsume even in the good place, right? Like you can
Hmm.
spend so much time. I'm trying to find a healthy example so people don't think I'm crazy, but like you can spend so much time doing all the things, serving, like over consuming in community, but then you're not spending enough time being intimate with the Lord. So it still requires discipline. And
It
just
does.
because it is spiritual, it doesn't mean it's good if it's not in alignment with him
That's right.
and if
Because
priorities are mixed.
the perfect place is to be in the will of God. So, you want to be aligned with his will.
Yes, yes. So as we talked about this discipline, both the practical and the spiritual. How have you? Because you mentioned about being a mom, and there are moms that I'm connected to a lot of moms actually. So I'm gonna reach out to all y'all when I have children, so y'all can help me.
We got you. We
Yeah,
got you. It
but
takes a
I
village.
love yeah, but I love seeing you mom. And you're here, but like hearing you talk about you and your husband and exposing your daughter to new experiences and different experiences and just helping her to grow up, culture. But before, original question before I got to making that statement was how have you decided in your household, what those rhythms look like? How have you incorporated discipline in your transition to becoming a mom and then navigating motherhood with the newness?
Yeah, so me and my husband, we are a team. We locked in. Nothing or anything comes in between that. So, like, we are always on one accord. We have our routines, and those routines help us flow and stay disciplined. I am a type A personality. I don't know if many people know that about me, but that's who I am. I'm trying to be a little bit more flexible, but that's how I stay disciplined by just having my routines and, saying no.
Yeah,
No,
that is so good.
without explanation, just no.
Complete sentence. Oh, yeah, and that's really good. Thank you for sharing that. You having that. Well, one, you're honoring right your covenant, starting there. Nope, we're aligning, agreeing, going from there, saying no and doing the things because I ain't gonna lie. I am in a space where I'm like, this conversation is actually probably for me more than the people. Cause I just told the Lord, what is today? Thursday.
Mhm.
I was driving. I was like, oh Lord, I was like, I definitely got to become more disciplined in my fitness and my finance. And I'm like, girl, you just become too lax. Like you have goals, there are things you're trying to accomplish, and you keep saying yes to things. Yes, you going over here to this event. And nowadays it don't seem like nothing is under a $75, $100 ticket. And then
No.
I'm yeah, then
No.
I'm like,
Everything
oh
expensive.
yes. And then for some reason I can't go in my closet. I like even if it's a pair of stockings, I'm going to buy stuff like and it's like it's all adding up. And I'm realizing, okay, so you might not be traveling as much, but you still lack discipline because you're saying yes to these other things that might still add up to that $2,500 travel expense.
And it adds up quickly.
Yes. It's like these
Yes.
small
You
numbers. And
don't
it's
even know
like,
it is added.
and I'm like, okay, girl, like, come on. So thank you for sharing that because I'm like, no, no is gonna have to be my new answer. And my friends will understand. I don't have any concerns about it. But it's like, no, you're gonna have to say no.
No. And it's
That
hard. It's really hard because telling myself no when I believe that I should have the world and everything that's in it, it's hard. It's hard, but I got better with that. So you can do it.
yes, I can. I can. Was there any monumental moment though that made you say, because I believe us having discipline requires a boundary, right? And I believe that boundary is us saying, you know what, I will do this, but only go this far. Or, I'll do this, but not that. Was there anything that signified that moment for you where you felt like you were able to strengthen your boundary related to being disciplined in an area? Or you just, cold turkey was like, nope, not doing it.
I always been good with setting boundaries. So, no, my husband would tell you, like, I'm pretty much like, no,
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
My boundary is my boundaries. And if you come across that boundary, it's going to be a problem. No, like, yeah,
Yeah. Well, okay, good. So I mean, that's beautiful.
yeah,
I don't know, I might be similar in that respect, especially if you try to pressure me into something and I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah,
shut down, blocked. I'm not saying
yeah.
anything. It's like,
Click.
yeah.
We're not doing that. No, thank you.
At all, at all, at all. But yeah, no, that's good because I asked that question in case there was anyone else, listening who's like, well, I don't know what to do in it. And really, it's just deciding. You know,
Hmm.
I don't think it requires a lot of input, a lot of just looking at your life, and as you read, you're like, yeah, I have to make a decision. Just like I did the other day driving. I'm like, no, I am deciding that this the last time I quit this fitness stuff. We're gonna get back on it. Cause you out here saying you're gonna work for the Lord and do these things, and you don't want to be out of breath. You don't want to be tired. You don't want to be any of these things. You want to be comfortable in everything you put on, not
Yeah,
showing up somewhere dressed away because, this don't fit like you want to. Like, I'm like, no, I want to be comfortable.
yeah. Got to be
And I want to
committed.
have the, yes, and
And
I
it's
want to have the
okay to
free.
have those days when when you're not on it, but just staying committed to the promise that you made to yourself.
Yes, and staying committed and just building discipline in that way. And so I've always admired that of you. And I don't know that you've ever intentionally tried to show this. I think it's just a part of who you are. But that's something I've admired is your discipline, even in how you show up online, you know,
Thank you.
your content and what you show up with. Like, I don't ever feel like you just throw something at us, right? Like, it's very thoughtful and considerate if you're shopping, the tidbits that you share, like all of the things. So I've really admired the discipline that you've had. So I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your nuggets.
Thank you. Thank you. I always have the girls in mind. I keep y'all in mind. I always think to myself, like, what is something that I can help, others with? What can they come to my page and take away? So yeah, thank you.
Yes. Is there anything else that you want to share that you do that you're an avid fan of that people should hear about?
Mental health. Mental health. I'm a huge advocate of mental health. I work in pediatric mental health, so I'm big on that. And I think that's why I have strong boundaries and I don't play when it comes to like mental health and my overall well being because I see daily what that can lead to. So I'm a big advocate about, mental health and just overall health, especially women's health as well.
So, as someone who works in that space, because I didn't know that, so I'm learning something new now, I can see the boundary connection. But I've always been an advocate of therapy, and I've done therapy for quite a while now.
Mhm.
So I can see why our responses were what they were. For the person, though, who may be struggling with boundaries, what's the first step that you would advocate for them to take?
Therapy.
Okay.
Therapy, getting down to the root cause of the problem. Like, why are you lacking the discipline? Why are you struggling to set that boundary? But speaking with someone, because in the Black community, there's a stigma around therapy and actually receiving help. And we all need help. We all need to speak with someone.
Yes, absolutely. And tearing down that stigma. I'm so glad that there have been pros and cons to social media, right? Which is the ability to see other Black people advocate for therapy and recognize that you can sit on that couch and tell them all your business and be healed. Like,
Mhm. Yeah,
you
you
can
can.
you can do that. Like, gone should be the days of it just stays in this house because then it stays concealed and it never gets revealed to be addressed and healed.
And the
And then you just
generation curses continue. No, it
exactly.
stops with us.
Yes, it stops with us. So thank you for sharing that because I didn't know that that was your industry that you were in
Yeah.
and was such a great advocate for because it would explain a lot of why we struggle with discipline, whether practical or spiritual, no matter how you look at it, where you struggle, you can often tie it back to a root
Hmm.
of something. And once you address that root, you'll begin to see the fruit of it and you'll begin to flourish and really thrive and not feel so bad about your no.
Exactly, because your no is your no.
Yeah.
And I know for most people, it's uncomfortable because, you feel you kinda get a lot of pushback when it comes to breaking that generational curse, being disciplined and setting those boundaries, but it's necessary. It's necessary because it brain forth healing. So I just encourage a lot of women to, become disciplined, set your boundaries, and, just continue to do what is best for you. Put you
Yeah.
first.
That's so good. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing that. And thank you for talking the audience through that because it is. It's all tied together. I think that's the thing I love about the kingdom is that all these things are connected. And I don't want to say it's a puzzle because you're not really trying to find spots, but like it's wiring and all these things. And you address this and then it triggers fires to these other things. And it's like a
Mhm.
whole new world opens up every time you unlock something, you heal something, and you grow. And that's the beauty, is the growth. So, in addition to mental health, you're also an advocate for coffee. Where did the love of coffee come from?
Where did my love of coffee come? My mom loves coffee. So I would probably say it came from her. I wonder if she snuck me a sip of coffees when I was little. To this day, she still drank coffee every single day. I think that's where my love come from. I just love it. I love it so much.
Yes. And what are your favorite types of coffee? Because you're a collector. So that's the area that I've noticed you have great discipline in is
Hmm.
your coffee spending, your coffee splurging, your coffee, we're gonna pause,
Yeah.
coffee making at home.
Yes, I had to buy that Breville machine to, save money. That was actually a gift to myself when I hit my 5-year work anniversary at my job. So I decided to splurge. I was like, okay, girl, you've been rocking with this Nespresso for a while. Let's upgrade so you can get that coffee grade coffee at home to cut back on spending $7 and $8 on coffee because let me tell you, this coffee is expensive. I'm like, what are we paying for? And you don't know what you gonna get. One day it's good, one day it's nasty. So I make it at home and it's delicious every single time. So I love lattes with a double shot of espresso. Like that is my go-to. I love
Yeah.
those. And I like a shaken espresso here and there. But a latte is my favorite.
Love that. Love that. And something that Jasmine just said that I hope y'all picked up, because when you said it, it made me think about it, is that sometimes discipline looks like purchasing something so then you save on the other end. So you can still have a goal, but
Hmm.
not spend excess money. So for you, it was purchasing a coffee maker so you make it at home. You don't spend that. For me, on my fitness topic, I cancel my gym membership because I'm paying you $40 a month. But if I invest in this equipment, I have it for life and I can work on my own time. I don't have to make it to your gym in your hours. I don't have to have that
Exactly.
pressure. So it's like, so it's a lesson expense. Yes, there is an investment I have to make, but then I really don't have to buy all these gym clothes because in my mind, you got to have all the fits to
You
go to
do.
the,
The
and
pressure is there.
yes, like, and
When
now
you
it's
can
like,
just
you
be in your at home in the comfort of your own zone, and you can put on whatever you want to put on and get the workout in.
literally old sweatshirt, old pants, go work out, and nobody knows. No one sees you. I don't have to have the
Nope.
latest
Can
Nikes,
have
the
my
latest this.
rollers in. That's
Yes,
me in my other room in the office on my walking pad. That's exactly why I bought that walking pad. And look at come there. Why you looking over here?
yes, yes. So that is discipline. So like
Yeah.
I'm so glad these things are unfolding as we're talking because I really want people to know that you can be disciplined and it may look different depending on what stage of life, work stage, life stage you're in, but think about creative ways that you can maintain discipline in your daily routines, even things such as small as that. Like we don't have to take our hair down. We don't have to look like anybody at home. Like
Right.
we can just
Show
do
up
our
and be
thing.
you. And I think that's important too. You have to do what works best for you. I think a lot of times people get on social media and they see people doing it a certain type of way and feel that they have to do it that way. No, you don't. You can do it exactly however you choose to do it. So if you want to show up in your oversized old family reunion shirt from 2020, which I have and I wear, ripped and bleached and all, hey, do just that. As long as you showing up, honoring that commitment to yourself and being disciplined, hey, you good, girl. You got it.
That's it. That's it. Thank you so much for this conversation. I have two questions for you remaining. The first is based on everything we talked about here, what is the one thing that anyone watching this should take away?
Discipline is key. It's a life hack. It's a life hack. If you're not disciplined, it will show up in every part of your life. But if you're disciplined, people will see that in you. So, I just encourage all women to show up, honor yourself, honor your needs, and continue to be disciplined spiritually, physically, emotionally, in all the areas. Show up and be disciplined.
Amen. And then my final question is as you think about what it has taken for you to be disciplined as woman who has been becoming a wife, becoming a mother, becoming, I'm going to say a mogul, for other women. Yes, we're not even going to play small over here. Becoming a mogul, like someone that, can chart territories and show people, what it looks like, right? To live well, to live with the Lord, and experience the fruit of it and not have to have sort of, I think a lot of times on social media, we praise these rags to riches, but you don't have to come from rags, right?
Ooh,
Like you and I
you
don't think
don't.
we celebrate enough those who walk into the riches, the wealthy life, and not just the dollar sign wealth, but the wealth of peace, the wealth of joy,
Mm,
the wealth of a healthy marriage, right? The wealth of friendships that honor you in life. And I don't think we celebrate that enough or we give that much attention. So that's why I say the mogul as you've been becoming, because there's been discipline that's followed you and you've taken with you through those stages. So as you think about your disciplined years, as you are becoming this version of Jasmine that is continuing to evolve, if you think about it like a coffee drink, what would it be and why?
mm. Well, thank you so much for pouring that into me because you're just telling me all the things that my husband tell me because I'm the person that always like to be behind the scenes. I don't want to be seen. I like to be in my little turtle shell.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But when I think of this season of being disciplined, I think of it as a shot of espresso. It's strong, it's bold, and I truly believe in this season that God is calling me to walk in boldness with Him and before Him with confidence, without fear, to show other women and to show, kids, my daughter, that you can do whatever you choose to do. God has chosen you. You're called and you're chosen. Um, that's when I think of coffee, that's what I think of.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
good. I always like to ask that question from everyone's perspective because I think it gives context, it gives language, it's rich, and it resonates. So, to those who are watching, I would say put espresso at the top of your mind. Let's
Yes.
be bold in this season about,
Let's be bold.
all the things the Lord is calling us to do. We're not going to be shy. We're not covering up our espresso with all the other things that weaken the flavor. We are coming forward bold in our discipline and becoming seasoned.
Yes, we have to because I know you talked about that on your stories one day. Like you said, I remember you saying if you're not obedient and do what God has called you to do, He would choose somebody else. So be obedient and walk in boldness.
Yes, and that frightens me because it means you in trouble.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
you in trouble.
Ooh, I don't want to
Get
have
in
the answer for
formation and
that one.
walk.
Literally get information and walk because
Yeah.
those are questions we're not trying to have to answer. Okay. Like, not at all. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much. I am so grateful for this conversation. And I'm grateful again for you showing up online the way that you do because it has been a blessing to me. And I think I said to you too if this conversation was for nobody else but me, thank you, Lord. But I am so grateful for you. And I'm grateful to have met you when I did. I didn't know that a time like today would come, but you deliver immense value. And even if you never utter the words out your mouth, I do want you to know that I don't believe it's just me, but there are more women like me who see you and admire what we see the Lord doing. It gives us hope, right? Hope to know that as we grow in life, grow in our careers, grow in our faith, grow in our walk, grow in our calling, grow in our purposes, right? That this is what the grace of the Lord looks like,
Yes.
not to shy, not to be shy, not to step back, not to try to hide what the Lord has done, but to go boldly in it. And I love that about you from what I've seen is that you don't shy away from what the Lord has done. You talk about it because then it becomes exposure and experience for us. And we know, oh, okay, like we can attain this. The Lord wants us to have this. Oh, okay, I'm not holding this as a secret. I'm shouting to the mountains about it because then it frees other people.
Yes, it does. It does. And thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed this conversation and I always enjoy chatting with you. You such fun time and you always get us together. I know you say this conversation was for you, but I think it also was a reminder to myself like, hey, girl, continue doing what you are doing because you bringing that exposure, what other women need to see and hear. So thank you for that reminder.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. So, if you all are joining in, as you know, this series has been developed to show each and every woman, no matter where you are in your and becoming journey, that you are not alone. I share this on every episode that one day I was hanging out in Ephesians 6 as I've been navigating sort of this sticky middle of becoming this next version of me. And I thought I was alone. And that's a tactic of the enemy. And so while I was in Ephesians 6, Paul was talking to the church and he said, he used the word brethren. And when I went to look it up, that word meant the body of believers. And he was talking to them and letting them know he was praying for them because the body of believers everywhere was experiencing warfare. And that freed me. So I pray that this
Yeah.
conversation has freed you and encouraged you as you've watched and you've listened in to know that you're not alone. You have community here. And Jasmine's socials will be tagged so that you can engage with her and her content. Go laugh, go have a good time with all the stories and
Yay.
connect with a like minded woman. So I love y'all and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.